how sweet it is. Echo. To be loved by you nerds, what is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd affiliated, the inaugural new setup, new location. Boom. I was off brand for a second, but we're back. Yeah, we're in the new spot. We're in the new spot. We took 2 weeks off, I think, maybe 1 week. I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks. But you don't care about all that. All that you care about is that we are back. We're here, and you are here because the outside world rejects you. This is your family. I am your father. Now, shout out to Steve. Got an autograph from Shredder at Comic-Con. And yes, we're going to talk about Comic-Con. And of course, anything you guys want to talk about. Let me fix the camera. I feel like it's like not level, but I'll try my best. Literally set all this up last night and went live with Dave on his show. So yeah, things are not where they're going to end. I think the computer's going to stay here. I'll talk about all that stuff. But of course, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. Like I said, it's going to be a fun one. Talking about Comic-Con, talking about some Haslabs, some Hasbro news, and of course, your boy was right about some Marvel news. So we'll talk about that as well. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Gonna be a fun time. But without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, it is me. I am the problem. It is me. And it is bothering the shit out of me about how much echoes in this room right now, because the room's like pretty empty. No carpet, not really anything on the wall except for old JDF back there. And that's really about it. The lights and all that, but I can hear the echo in the room and it bothers me. But yes, the inaugural episode of the new location, new house. And figured somebody called it out. I think it was Anthony pointed it out. New thumbnail as well. I was like, F it, make a new one. Why not? To celebrate, I bought something for us to drink today, and who knows what tomorrow will bring. But at my new location, I went to my new local Trader Joe's. There's many fine shops up here. I'll talk about that stuff, but went to Trader Joe's, and this is the first time I've lived near a Trader Joe's that has alcohol. So, to celebrate the stream tonight, this might hurt. For $15, I got the Trader Joe's Kentucky bourbon straight whiskey. We're gonna try it out. There you go. ASMR for you there. Gonna pour it in the glass over some ice. There's some cherries at the bottom. Maybe the cherries will help with the pain that will come tomorrow morning from drinking this. But let's try it out. You know, it's not that bad. So hopefully by now, you've poured yourself just a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
it's okay. I'll try a little bit more. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, for $15, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Let's say hi to the chat, of course. Are you the Keymaster? Yes, I am the Keymaster. Good to see you. Guaranteed Jets. Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Greetings, programs. Yeah, rambling. I think it meant nerd. The new graphics are pretty dope. Me like. There you go. Rambling nerd in the house. Good to see you, Anthony. I dig the purple and red and the manipulation of the photo. Filters are good sometimes. Yeah, I'm not as good as Aaron Waller or some of the other people I know, so work in progress. Work in progress. KO in the house. Good to see you. Everybody saying hi to each other. Patrick in the house. Good to see you. Of course, we missed you at Comic-Con this year. Steve-O in the house. We here. We in here. What a weekend. Crazy, that was already almost a week ago. Actually, for you, Comic-Con was a week ago because you went on Thursday. That's crazy. Rick James in the house. Good to see you. Back the Ecto. We're going to talk about that, of course. We're going to talk about that. Getting dinner ready. What did I miss? You haven't missed anything outside of the torture that will be laid upon or bestowed upon my brain tomorrow after drinking this $15 Trader Joe's bourbon. I mean, to Patrick's point here, we bought a house. Best I can afford is $15 bourbon. So we'll see what happens. Hey, Anthony, loved how the new proton gun turned out. Yes, it was pretty good. Pass that bourbon right here. If I could, I would. Louie in the house. Good to see you. My feet are still on fire. Yeah. I think I finally just recovered from all that. It's about to get real. It is. Everybody's saying hi to each other. You might need to bring some this June 7th for Ghostbusters Day, episode 41, of course. And trees, of course. Can't forget the trees and smash that like button. As the man collects says, I mean, he's probably recording his outro for tomorrow's video right now, but as the man collects says, let's get social media out the way. I didn't set this up. I just realized as I clicked the button. So we're going to jump around. Jump around. Nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. Actually, you can also purchase some nerd affiliated merch here on the site. And I threw on the nerd affiliated flag there. It's a version 2, and I don't know what it looks like in person. So whoever buys the flag, send me a picture so I can see what it looks like. I added it on there because Sal wanted to get one. I hung one outside the house, and I like it. Like it a lot. And also, what I brought back was the nerd affiliated life shirts. And I brought this back because of General Kenobi's bunker. Shout out to Jose. He was rocking this shirt on a stream the other day, talking about how much he liked it, and people were talking about how much they liked it. So I brought it back, limited time thing, and eventually I'll take it back down again. But yeah, that's on the site, as well as some other fun goodies. So pick up your merch. There's also a link to the Real Nerdbusters as well. That's where we'll post our Ghostbusters related stuff, links to events and photos, all of that. could be found there. But for immediate access to all of us nerd affiliated on Instagram, and of course the real Nerdbusters on Instagram, trying my best to get into Discord more. So many apps, so many things to cover. So follow us on Discord. Link is down below, and link is on the website. Join us there. Patrick is usually there. Sal is there. And a couple other friends that you guys see every Thursday are there as well. Aaron Waller in the house. You know, something I always enjoy is that the comments app always gets rid of his background because it's green screen. So, yeah, sweet hotel room. It's a murder room, actually. Yes. Pics and videos are coming. I feel like I've been moving since before the con. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. So, actually, just so you guys all know, the photos on my end are done. Photos by Anthony, I believe, are almost done. So if Anthony wants to show any of those photos on the website, I will do so. I should post all of them, or at least the first batch, by tomorrow. And then whatever Anthony has will load up after that. But it was a good time. Comic-Con was a good time. We'll show those guns off from Mr. Anthony. So here we are, photo courtesy of the Mrs. Pre-Con. Anthony had went in already, but then came back out. He was a nice guy, came back out to get us because we didn't have our tickets. Steve had the tickets, but came back outside. We took a photo before going in, and yes, he was rocking the proton gun, which came out amazing. So for the proton gun, for Frank and Geek, for Great Scott Prop Shop, and for Victoria, I'm forgetting Homebody, Happy Homebody or something. I forget her Instagram. I'll put it in the show notes. But to all of them who helped make this a reality,
more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Because it was great. It was great. And what's funny about the proton gun, proton rifle, that's my screen. I was like, there's a line going down the center, but that's my screen. It just like the proton pack, but I feel like even more, it seems or visually looks heavier than it is, which is a great effect to have. You always want that when you create a cosplay, especially if it's something that's supposed to be heavy. You want that to come across. And with the proton rifle, I legit forgot it was a Nerf gun. So great job by everybody and by Anthony. I got a chance to fully debut my version 2 Ghostbusters cosplay, which was the khaki flight suit. I did wear it to Ghostbusters Day, but with no gear. So I got to wear it with gear. Got to break out the Spirit proton pack for once. And it was a good time. I had a lot of technical difficulties with the proton pack, but I'll talk about that in like my next video when I get a chance to record that. But great time. Absolute great time overall. Got to see some friends like the Ectotech Greg, who it's now public knowledge he actually helped with the Haslab, which we'll talk about. So, shout out to him. And of course, I made this post. I guess I didn't put it on Real Nerdbusters. I thought I was going to. I must have forgot. But shout out to all the cosplayers that we see every year. Not even like scheduled, not even like, hey, where you at? But we literally see every year, and only see each other for like 5 minutes, like max. So shout out to all of them. And yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time. Can't believe I met Rokosaki. Great guy. Yeah, that was awesome. It's great to see the results after the work. Rambling nerd. Yeah. Worst part of the gun was where I put the strap mounts. So like I said, I know you're not really for it, but if you make a version 2, you know where to kind of go from there. The gun was a labor of love. Yes, it was. Happily homebody. There you go. Profile picture may change one day. TBD. It's funny. I feel like at a certain point, you can't change it. So I immediately thought of Ariel Helwani. I talk about him from time to time. MMA journalist, podcaster. He's had the same like Twitter profile picture for like, what is it? 12 years, 15 years, whatever. So it's like, if he changed it, it's almost like changing his whole identity at this point. So I feel like you're at that point with YouTube. Because you've just had the same picture for so long. All right, caught up there, coming back down. It was a sweet build. That gub looked hella nice. Hopefully we'll get to see more. Of course, Rex in the house. Good to see you. Congrats on 1,000. And a great interview as well. But yeah, dead ass Ryu. I couldn't tell if he liked or hated that we call him that. So this guy on the screen here, his name is Miles Kicks on Instagram. Everybody's tagged in the photos, so you guys, if you know, can give them all a follow, that would be great. But Miles Kicks here. The first time we met him, it was maybe like 2018, 2017, give or take. And oh no. Yeah, 2018, I think. Steve and I, we went as Power Rangers that year. And, you know, we're walking around and this guy is dressed up as Ryu, right? He has the white gi, the belt, the wristbands, all that stuff. But he was wearing Tim's and a Yankee Fitted. And right now, I can't remember if that was intentional, like if that was the point. But either way, we all looked at him and we're like, yo, you're dead ass Ryu. And every single con we see him, not only is he not wearing that cosplay anymore, but he's like, holy shit, you guys remember that? We're like, yeah, oh yeah, man, you're dead ass Ryu. So yeah, Miles Kicks, cool dude. Give him a follow as well. Creativity, good to see you. Geek Strong in the house, good to see you. Geek Strong also put out a great video the other day, decorating his house for Halloween. Maybe someday I'll get to see it because now we're closer in proximity to each other. So I'll have to hit you up. Truly means a lot. No, well deserved. If you guys don't know, let me go over here to Mr. Rex's channel. I heard that sound in my headphones. I thought it changed. It didn't. So he got to interview here Roger Christian, who was the prop maker on A New Hope. I'm actually going to just play the intro, so you know Rex will explain it way better than I could. But you guys need to watch this episode. It's great.
Welcome back to Shadows of the Workshop, a series where I take a deep dive into the fascinating stories of prop makers and creators of all walks of life.
By the way, I don't think I ever said how much I love the name of that. And you're not a Star Wars fan if you don't get the reference to the name Shadows of the Workshop. We'll proceed.
Today, I am truly honored to be hosting a true legend in the industry. Our next guest is a visionary, a creator, a master of world building, also an Academy Award winner. His iconic designs have transported us to distant galaxies, from the sweeping sands of Tatooine to the legendary cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. As a pioneer in prop making, He has brought to life some of the most iconic and most beloved characters in Star Wars. From the mighty bowcaster, even to the first ever lightsaber. Without his creations in Star Wars truly just wouldn't be the Star Wars that we grew to love. So everybody, sit back and relax, and let's walk through the shadows of the workshop with Roger Christian.
Great intro. Great video. It reminds me of something that I feel like rarely gets discussed. And, the adage goes usually with kids or, with families when it comes to kids. But it's, it takes a village, right? Listening to Roger talk about the process of not just like set design, prop making, but then when he eventually got to work with George Lucas and then work on Star Wars, you get to see that like the producer or the director, they can only do so much. They can really only do so much. They are one person. Sometimes they're two, but really they're one person. And through people like Roger, you get these people who see the vision that is said out loud to them or written down for them, and they take that little nugget, complete world build, and create the worlds that we love when we watch these shows. So even thinking about, I'm not going to spoil the whole episode, but at one point he talks about making Han Solo's blaster, and like literally just found like this, what is it, like a Ruger, I think. And was like, to be futuristic, it would just put a scope on it, put a scope, move a couple things around, bam. And look how iconic that blaster is, But it's not like George Lucas sat there and was like, let's put all these things together. No, it's like a team does it. Somebody's assigned to that. So it's great. Definitely watch that. And if you're interested, if you're into prop making, of course, follow Rex, but also kind of search YouTube, like Tested, for example. Tested, they go to like a lot of behind the scenes things and they talk to prop builders, and you get to see like how a lot of these things are made that we love that aren't all created by like that one person who made the movie, so definitely give it a watch for all that stuff, but Rex as well. And don't forget, hit the like button, by the way. I don't think I said that yet. Love the opening style. A great video. Yeah, there you go. All that work to hide an olive tree. Yeah. It was crazy. Even them talking through the speeder, the speeder on Tatooine, like putting that whole thing together. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Rolando in the house. Good to see you. Yes. But yeah, as far as, prop building and all that stuff, Comic-Con's a great time. Huge success. Proton pack, proton rifle, all that fun stuff. But let's do a little bit of, I don't know, what do you guys think? Toy news or movie news? I feel like I want to just knock the movie news out the way. We'll do some movie news real quick. Why not? We'll just we'll get that out. So something we've not done in a long time is load up Box Office Mojo. And a lot has happened. Now, for those of you who don't remember, we used to do Nerdy Coffee every Monday morning, and we break down the box office numbers every week. Talk about what we thought would happen, what we thought they would hit, not hit, flop, all that fun stuff. But I feel Excel sheets coming. I don't have any. I'm not going to break any. I'm not going to break them out. I'm not. They're open, but because of that, I'm going to challenge myself not to break out the Excel sheets. But we had a lot of releases come out the last couple of weeks since we last spoke and since we talked about movie stuff. And if you would have told me that this would be your top 5, this far into the fall, I probably would have called you crazy. But alas, here we are. This week, I believe Venom comes out. Or is that next week? They're doing the premiere stuff this week. Venom is tomorrow. Yeah, Venom's tomorrow. Are there any? No, there wouldn't be any numbers yet because tonight's like the preview night stuff. But we had a lot of movies come out, and shockingly enough, Beetlejuice is still in the top 5, this many weeks later. So shout out to them. Guaranteed Jet saw Venom already. Did you enjoy it? And if you are talking about Venom, my question to you, did you watch the first 2? Because honestly, Venom 3, even though the reviews aren't great that I've seen online, I'm probably going to watch it when it comes on digital. And it's going to be the only Venom movie I've seen in its entirety. I have no desire to watch the first one, 0 to watch the second one. So if I kind of want to watch Venom 3 just to see like potentially how bad it is. But I have no desire to watch all 3. Not the slightest. Will Venom perform, or is it already DOA? I'm not trying to use the sheets. The first 2 Venom movies, they made a profit. I remember us talking about that. So I don't know what the budget is on Venom 3, but I think it's going to probably hit, break even as usual. Because people are still going to oh, I have nothing to do. Let me go see Venom. Oh, there's a new Venom movie. I wonder if Spider-Man's in it. They'll go see it. Because here's the thing. And even when we talk about toys, something that we forget a lot, and by we, I mean those of us who either make content or you watch a show like mine every week, we're in the minority. Like we're not, most people aren't watching the movie news all the time and, following nerdy Instagram pages and all that stuff. People only know kind of like base level of things. Like we're watching all the stuff, but most people are base level. The average person sees Venom and it's like, oh, is that the guy from Spider-Man? I wonder if Spider-Man's in it, even though it's 3 movies in. So you're going to get that. Some people are going to be like, hey, I want to watch a fun movie. I already saw Beetlejuice. Let's go watch Venom. So I think it's going to break even. I think it's definitely going to do better than Joker. We'll talk about that for sure. I think I said this already, but just in case you picked up the popcorn buckets, there you go. I feel like Venom 3 got... Oh, yeah, I read that one. Somebody known said it was funny. Venom, I meant, yeah. I'll watch Venom. I watched the other 2 in theaters. Oh, there you go. There you go. Just real quick on Beetlejuice. Right now it's at 435, which is crazy. It's been out for 48 days, which is wild. Wild. Did not think it would do that, but it did. And, good timing on that movie. I think good timing. Nostalgia. Halloween season. So, there's that. I don't want to talk about Joker 2. I won't make you then. I won't make you. But it's 6th place right now on the week. And, is that the week? Yeah, it's the week. 6th place on the week. It's 192 mil. Definitely not breaking even. Because this is not a scenario where people saw it after the fact, or people saw it and went home, told their friends you have to go see it. Like that did not happen with this movie at all. I watched, spoiler reviews already for it, just because I didn't care. And yeah, does not sound good. But look at that, 37 mil opening weekend, and now it's only at 57 domestic. So I'll watch Joker 2 on UPN. That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, absolute bomb. Movie that did not need to happen, which we say quite often, but it definitely didn't need to happen. Not at all. Transformers 1 right now, it's still in the top 10. Up to 119 mil. Had a very terrible opening at 24. It was I think it opened above Joker. Joker was 37. Oh, it's beneath that. Wow. So Transformers 1 at 119. I think 75 was what they made it for. So, rule of 2, you're at 150, right? 150 to break even. It'll do all right. It'll be fine. But I heard it was good. Guaranteed Jet said, don't waste your time or have it in the background while you build something. Talking about Joker. Yeah. We have Saturday Night from Jason Reitman, the son of Ghostbusters creator. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God, what's his first name? Oh man, F my life. I'm forgetting his first name. But, the guy who made Ghostbusters, Mr. Reitman, his son Jason, produced here Saturday Night and opening 270,000. Ivan, thank you. Worldwide 8. I'm not going to say that the movie was doomed to fail, right? I do believe that we, as Ghostbusters fans, tend to be very loyal to people tied to the franchise. So I'm kind of shocked that the fans didn't really push this movie. They pushed Frozen Empire like all the way across the finish line. I thought they'd be more towards this as well. I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't heard any reviews. I haven't watched any reviews. No, I'm sorry. I watched one and they said it was pretty decent. But Saturday Night Live, as far as relevance goes, it's not really there anymore. So that's a factor. I don't know. This is one of those prime examples where this should have been straight to streaming. A movie like this, unless, Eddie Murphy's at the premiere or something, even though this movie's before that, but this is a straight to stream. And that's no knock on quality. It's just people aren't going out of their way to watch a Saturday Night Live movie. It's just thumbs the facts. So sucks. I hope it doesn't affect his, position at Sony and doing things Ghostbusters related. It makes me mad that him doing this, I don't know this to be true. I feel like this took priority to him as a passion project over Frozen Empire, and that's why Gil Keenan did Frozen Empire, not Jason. So knowing that to passion project, something that doesn't do well, I'm just like, what the hell, man? But, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to go to theaters to see it. Ain't going to happen. Nightmare Before Christmas, 10th place. Crazy that we're in a world where 5 million gets you 10th place at the box office. But, post-COVID world, that's where we are. So that's your top 10. Deadpool Wolverine knocked out of the top 10. Oh, The Apprentice. I didn't realize that was out already. 5 million also did not do very well. So there you go. The biopic stuff, it just, theaters is just no point. No point. Now, something I do want to talk about. Where you at? Blade has been bladed. Sorry.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo!
Let me see if I can find it here. Was it Deadline that wrote that? I feel like I shared it before. Or Hollywood Reporter, I think. Is what I shared earlier. Uh, yes, I gotta find that video. I found it at one point and then I like lost it. I gotta find it again. But isn't this screenshot not from Blade? I mean from oh, it's from Alien. All right, they have it in the caption there. I was like, that looks like Alien, not Predator. So yes, right now there's been a shakeup at Disney, which is crazy to think. We're talking about Alien and Predator with Disney, but God, who shared it? Maybe I could find it if I do this. Oh, Nerdist. So when they announced the Blade movie, 2018, 2019, I think it might have been even earlier. When they announced Blade, I openly was like, this movie's not going to happen. There's no way. Dude's already pushing 50. They haven't started shooting this movie. I don't see it happening. And, you know, they continue to say, no, it's coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. No dice. So finally it's been confirmed, or not confirmed, but it's been heavily suggested that Blade is not coming out. It ain't happening. Not the version that we saw. But it turns out it got replaced with a Predator movie. And they already shot the movie. I love this. They did it again. If you forgot, because there's nothing else to talk about with Blade, ain't happening. I'm happy about it. Moving on. In case you forgot, Prey came out, what was that, 2021, maybe? I feel like it was 2021. Prey came out. And it was a movie that got delayed because of COVID, including being shot. And nobody knew about it. Nobody knew that they were making this movie. And when the trailer dropped, people were kind of like talking about the movie, but they weren't putting heavy emphasis on it. It was just like, there's a Predator movie. Oh, okay. Yeah. Nobody cared. But then 2022, thank you. But then instead of it being advertised as a Predator movie, people were just like, oh, you got to see this movie, Prey. Prey's freaking dope, blah, blah, blah. So we all watch it and then we're like, oh shit, this is a Predator movie. Like I didn't catch it. And it was amazing. Movie of the year. We gave it in 2022. And it's an amazing movie. Absolutely amazing movie. My wife liked it. She hasn't seen any Predator movies. So that, to me, it's a sign of a good movie. If somebody can watch it, it being a sequel, and yet the person has no point of reference, But it turns out it did it again, and they shot Predator Badlands. The next movie didn't tell anybody. Comes out this time, essentially next year. So I'm super pumped. I don't know the premise of the movie. I don't think anybody really does. The thing that we all really wanted, and I hope somehow this is that, is we wanted Predator in feudal Japan. That would be sick. Don't know if it's going to happen, but pretty excited for another Predator movie. It's funny. Unlike Alien, and I gave you guys my review of Alien Romulus. Unlike Alien, I feel like Predator doesn't have to really change the formula the way that Alien has to change the formula. And actually, no, sorry. I guess I misspoke. Let me say it again. Predator as a whole follows the same steps. Predator comes to Earth, human has to fight Predator. Where it made a change in its formula was this time the protagonist was a teenage girl, which on paper sounds like the dumbest idea of all time. And it worked. Amazing writing, amazing action. To me, I still think they made it make sense why she was able to win at the very end. Spoiler alert. But it's a Predator movie. Again, it's the same formula every time. But they made that one change. I feel like Alien needs to make some sort of change to make it good again. Because I mean, Romulans, I felt like there was nothing original about Romulus, and I could have gone perfectly fine without watching Romulus. Prey, I feel like is essential watching. Now, when it comes to the next Predator movie, I don't think they have to change the formula. I think if the Predator, is in feudal Japan and it's just like some samurai like badass that has to fight him or multiple predators, dope. If it's the shitty samurai who's not the best one and all the like badass ones die and then he's the one that wins, it'll be dope. So I don't think they really have to change that much. Will they probably change it? I'm sure. Now, I'm looking at a comment here, and I'll get to the chat in a second, but I'm looking at a comment here. Damn, I was hoping for Prey 2 set during the Anglo-Saxon or medieval times. I kind of wanted a Prey 2 because at the end of Prey 1, they hint at a sequel, unlike the other movies. And I kind of wish they were doing that. Maybe this is that movie. I don't know. Maybe Predator is not the actual title. So we'll see. But I'm pumped for this. I'm glad they kicked Blade off. They need to rewrite that. Or not rewrite it, but I mean, they already are rewriting it. They need to go back to the drawing board on that one. Wesley was spitting insider facts. Yeah, there's only one Blade. Yep. It depends on the actor. I think Ron Perlman was 54 when he did Hellboy. So I'll go back to it, yes. The reason I said Blade was not going to work with him pushing 50 is Blade needs to do a solid movie run. Like Blade 1 and 2 were great. Blade 3, terrible. Absolutely terrible. We need another trilogy for Blade, but I also think Blade has potential to be a staple in Marvel. Like the way that we anticipate the Spider-Man movies, the way we used to anticipate Iron Man movies, even though 2 and 3 sucked, but we're still pretty pumped for them, and he was still pretty important in the grand story. I think that Blade needs to fit into that slot, and I think he can as a character. I don't think it works if you're going to do that if he's already 54. Because how much is he going to do for the next 10, 15 years? I want the person to come in to be Blade for 10, 15 years. The way we got, Robert Downey, the way we had Chris Evans. Again, Robert Downey was older when he started doing Iron Man, but still, like, why not get somebody young, do a cliche origin story for Blade Year One type stuff, have at it, and just make freaking Wesley Snipes Whistler. Like, I feel like this is the easiest, simplest thing to do. I feel like young Blade movie where Wesley Snipes plays Whistler, writing's on the wall, and I feel like Wesley Snipes would do it. I feel like he would do it. And hell, you could even have it where, as the Marvel universe goes on, if Deadpool shows up in the regular MCU, he sees Whistler and he's like, "Oh shit, Blade!" And then he's like, "Oh wait, no, you're the other Blade. You're not this Blade." Something like that. They can totally do that. So, I think Wesley Snipes, Whistler, young Blade, Blade Year One, and call it a day. Call it a day. Shogun is the prequel to Feudal Japan Predator prequel sequel. That would be amazing. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. But, all right, let's get into some toy talk. It's 9:00. And do you know where your children are? Hopefully they're asleep and not watching this show. So we got the official release of the next HasLab. We knew it was going to be Ghostbusters. We knew it was going to be an Ecto-1. They pretty much told us it was going to be an Ecto 1. Since the last live stream we did, there was a leak where we learned there's going to be 2 tiers. The pricing was wrong, thankfully, but we learned there's going to be 2 tiers to this HasLab, and there is. So, right now, we are about a week in. We have just under 40 days to go, and you can do a basic backing on this. You can do an Ecto 1A. If you care about this, you've already researched it, so I don't have to go through all the details. But I can give you my thoughts. First of all, shout out to Dave's Dimension. There's no, as far as we know, there are no stretch goals here. You just got to hit 12,000. It just needs to hit the 12,000 and you get everything. Now, the problem is, actually, I'm already on it. The problem here is there is an early backing bonus. They do have that. So if it hits its goal, I believe by next week, early bird special, there's 2 weeks. Yeah, so in the first 14 days, they did not put a date down. Why didn't they put a date? So yeah, 14 days. They announced it. We're like 7 days in. So you figure by next Friday, next Saturday, this thing has to fully back to get the early bird, which is Tully. That's the only stretch goal type of thing they have here. Mega Dan in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, broke boy, broke girl season. So that's a stretch goal. Now, overall thoughts. I did not think this thing would be this cheap. Now, I'm not saying it's a cheap HasLab. I just didn't think they'd find a way to make it this cheap. I thought for an Ecto 1, considering what we paid or would have paid for other vehicles, I was like, this thing has to be at least 500 bones. At least for the base model. And they ended up doing it for 325. 325 base model with lights, with sounds. So there you go. I mean, to me, that's a win. That is a win. Now, I was watching, and people have always talked about him, and finally YouTube suggested him to me. I was watching Articulated Ninja, and he made a valid point, right? This price is good relative to the field. It's good relative to other HasLabs. The price is good relative to even ramen toys, right? You think about a ramen toy vehicle, their early birds are like sub 200, but then like regular price are pushing 3. So relative to the field, this is a good price. There has been comparisons made to McFarlane, where McFarlane makes vehicles for $8,900, but the quality is not the same as this. So I don't think in this case it quite matches, but I think for what you're getting relative to the field, I think 325 for the base model, 400 for everything you see on the right side is pretty good. I don't see how they're making a ton of overhead profit on this. That doesn't sound right. I don't see how they're making a lot of profit on this. Personally. They are saving money by using the same molds for the bodies as they did on the previous ones. But then you had sculpts. New Librarian, new Slimer. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end of Plasma Series. Go out with one giant bang. I would not be shocked. Maybe you get 1 or 2 more waves of figures. I assume there's going to be a Ghostbusters 2 khaki wave. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end, because this is a lot of stuff for, 400 bones easily. But that being said, it is only halfway. It just passed halfway yesterday, I believe. So do I think it's going to back? Yes. I think it will back. And I think it's going to be a lot of FOMO that causes it to back. But I wouldn't be quite surprised if it didn't. If they didn't. If they don't release any stretch goals here, I think it's going to be tough. If they don't do a hard marketing push, taking this to tested, having other, content creators get their hands on this thing, talk about it, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road over there. I was watching Yes Have Some, and I think they said Geek Dad Life has a chart going on this. Let's see here. Here you go, Haslab chart. All right, so I lied. I would not show an Excel sheet today, but somebody else did. So there's this chart here showing all the Haslabs, where they were on X day in their backing. And right now you can see universally there's always a push, huge push at the end, huge spike. And right now it turns out the Haslab is following the path of the Proton Pack, if you guys remember that one. Now, the trap just killed. It absolutely killed. That thing was backed, I think, in the first day or 2 days or something like that. And a lot of Haslabs in the last, couple years, or last couple Haslabs, have backed pretty early. But this one, it's going slow. It is going slow. This is your deadline to get Tully. Will there randomly be a spike here? I don't think so. If there is a spike here to get Tully, then it flatlines. It will flatline from there, and they would need another stretch to get another boost. But I feel like everybody who would have backed it probably already backed it. I really do. Because at the end of the day, and I'll get to your comments, I'm in a rare, maybe I'm not in a rare circumstance. I think I might be, but just moved, just got a new job. There's no way I can justify buying this thing. And on top of that, I was saying it with Dave. This has been a year of vehicles. We talked about that a couple months ago, where it's 2024, we've been getting vehicles left and right from people. I'm at a point now where I purchased, I think, less than 5 vehicles, and all 5 or 4 of them, I think it's 4, they're all in their boxes. I've got nowhere to put them. I can't use it for cosplay. I can't take it outside. I can't really do much with this thing. So while I really, really, really would like to have it, I can't justify it. It does not make sense to me. And I don't even have a place for it in my collection. So that's where I'm at. And I think this might be where a lot of collectors are at. Holiday season's around the corner. I don't know. I think it's still going to make it. But I don't think we're going to get crazy numbers on this thing. And I don't think we're getting Tully. I think Tully's out. And if there is a spike for Tully, that's it. That's the final spike. But I want them to win on this one. I don't usually back the man, but after meeting the Haslab team for Ghostbusters Day, I was like, okay, these are real fans. They really give a shit. I want them to win, but I feel like this one's gonna be hard. This is gonna be the first time that the Ghostbusters team struggles with a Haslab. They've struggled with figures plenty of times, but this one's gonna be tough. Going to the comments. Articulate Ninja has some funny points. Yeah. Geek Strong back deck the 1A. Don't forget, you get the 1 with the add-ons to make it a 1A. You can't do endless swaps, but you can. Now, not my original idea. This came from Ghostbusters News. I thought if they made it where you can swap pieces, a decent amount of people would buy 2. But the price point would affect that. So even, this ends up being lower than I thought it would be. So maybe there are people who are just like, oh, no brainer in buying 2 to have both vehicles. But I think if I backed it, I think getting the deluxe is no brainer, but I have no desire to display it as a 1A. I just want the figures. I don't know. Dave said, well, this guy has backed it, but I don't think we're getting Lewis. It might be pretty close. It might be pretty close to get it funded. Most Ghostbusters collectors are prop people. Like you said, a lot of vehicles for collectors. Yeah. Patrick agrees with you. They revealed it on a good payday as well, right in the middle of the month. Yeah. Maybe if they add the Statue of Liberty and insert all the figures, LOL. Dave said, I'm just being open-minded about it. I want it. I want all the figs, but the economy and all the vehicles, it's tough. And Mondo has their figs, which would take up less space. I'll come back to that point. I would love this, but me and the vehicles and space and my girl don't mix. There you go. Steve, are you getting it? I don't think. Oh, you mean me, Steve? I thought you meant other Steve. Yeah, not doing it. Can't do it. Now, a great point was made by Extraplasm on YouTube. As my voice breaks there. Bring up Mondo. We already called bullshit on the Mondo figures. 200 bones for 2 figures in a pack. Knowing you need to buy 4 packs to get all 4 Ghostbusters is absolutely ridiculous. Seeing Hasbro make this for the price, I hope the Mondo series just tanks. I do. I do. Marv in the house, good to see ya. JB in the house, good to see ya. Terror Dogs and Gozer stretch goals. I don't think so. I don't think that would work because I think most of the collectors that would want those already have them. Because here's the thing too. We forget this. The Plasma series was not a very successful series. Before all the Ollie's craze was happening on YouTube in the toy collecting community, they were loaded with Ghostbusters figures. The reason I started collecting the Plasma series was because I randomly went to an Ollie's on a road trip and was like, oh, here they are for, $5-10 or whatever. But I remember seeing them in stores and they weren't moving, if you guys remember. So Plasma series was pretty dead for a long time. I ended up finishing the OG movie figures off of Amazon for like $10 a figure. I think the only one that was expensive was Egon, and that's because since he had passed, everybody was flipping his figures. But everybody else I bought for like $10-12. And because of that, I got a Terror Dog because they did Build-A-Figures. So I got the Terror Dog. I got Gozer. The only one I'm missing is Tully from the first movie. And technically I only have one Terror Dog. But yeah, Vigo, I don't think does it, Sorry, I had something in my nose. Definitely picking my nose on YouTube as I talk about toys. Yeah, I don't know what could push people over on this one, and I don't think it's Vigo. I don't think it's any deep cuts because you need casuals. You always need casuals to go in, and I don't know if this is going to have it. You're going to love the suit I have on for my stream tonight. Hell yeah. By the way, DM me your address because I wanted to send you something. Don't be a hater, be a participator. Yes, 6510 right now. Yeah, you got 4 more. Hey, I wanted to back. I'm not saying I don't want this thing to be a thing. And I feel like that's a misconception sometimes. And I struggle with the content creator thing, and I've talked about this before. You know, there are people out there who get invites to see things like this, right? I mentioned them earlier. You guys know who they are. They're not going to talk the negatives about any of this stuff. There's other creators out there about various things. They're not going to talk negatives about things because why am I going to burn the bridge? If I'm getting invited by Hasbro to do something, I'm not going to shit on Hasbro. I get it. Not my position. Even if I was getting the invites, I'm going to have to tell the truth on these things. And I want it to back. I hope it backs. Great quality. I don't think that 400 is viable for a lot of people. And because of that, you're not going to get the backs. You're not going to get the casual backs. It just is what it is. Is what it is. JB said Tully and Pterodog at 150 on eBay. Never found in person. Was there a Tully and Pterodog 2-pack? Ghostbusters. Because there's that one. That's from the old Diamond Selects. But yeah, like let's go to Amazon right now. I'm assuming the prices have gone up since the HasLab was announced. Yeah, they've gone up. 24, 18, look, 13, 12, 17. Yeah, I bought this one here for like $5, I think. I think he's my only slime one. The only one I probably would have bought after the fact, if I got it for a decent price, was this one. The 2-pack with Ghost Spangler. I would have got that one. But, you know, this, if you wanted a second Pterodog, this was the move. You had to buy the Afterlife figures to build a Pterodog, or you had to double up on the original to get a Pterodog. So, yeah, great figures, you know, but honestly, I might buy the freaking, if it goes on sale, I'm going to buy the $50 1/18 scale if I need Nectar 1. And I'll buy the O-ring figures again when they're on sale. But I'm not going to big up, you know, these things just for the hope that Hasbro's like, "Oh, come to the Hasbro brunch," and I can't do it. I can't do it. I keep scrolling because I see my mouse on the window for you guys, but it's on my other screen. I'm like, why won't it scroll over? It's the first time they included almost a complete wave of 6-inch figures with a HasLab. They are pulling out the stops, but it's still niche, and that's me looking at it from all sides. So that's why I think this is the end of the line, because they're just like throwing everything at it. And this is one of those similar to Ant-Man, and I'll talk about the next thing after this, but similar to Ant-Man, it's one of those where like I want to back it in principle because like I want more of this. Like I want them to be like, hey, we'll give you a whole wave of figures and whatever the HasLab focus is. Like I think that's great. It's a great idea. But still, I still at the moment can't justify it. Things could change, but at the moment it ain't happening. Seth in the house, good to see you. Did somebody else jump in before that? No. Scooby Life in the house, good to see you. So Seth said, I wish they would let you do payments instead of having to pay in full. That's come up a lot. That has come up a lot. Over on the other podcasts, those dudes are talking about that. And they're like, oh, just do payments for everything. And I was like, yeah, but if you're just doing payments for everything, at a certain point, your monthly payment is like a car payment on all these random pre-orders you have floating out there. You know, like, what are you doing? 400 bills is a big nut in general. Yeah. There you go. Seth Real like a firm or something. Yeah. I'm definitely passing on this. I have both vehicles in Hot Wheels 118 scale in the Playmobil. There you go. I'm not paying $150 for an Egon Phoebe 2-pack. And it's the other one I'm missing. Listen, I'd rather be honest than a kiss ass. Having the respect of my peers is more important than any company. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not, for a record, I'm not talking about everybody who was at the Haslab, Hasbro breakfast. There's just particular people. I don't even know them, but you just will never hear a negative thing. And that's the role. I get it. Lego Ecto is a badass. I haven't even opened it yet. Not even the smaller scale before it came out. Yeah. Do a PayPal on 4 and take 2 months. Yeah. And some cards let you do monthly payments on them. For sure. For sure. But, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, I think it's going to make it. FOMO, it always kicks in for people. Flippers are going to definitely grab it at the end thinking they can flip it. Some people are going to buy 2. You know, that's another thing. So I think it's going to make it. Tully, I don't see Tully happening. I don't. Chris Small in the house. Been a while, man. Good to see you. Haslabs don't do PayPal, at least not previously. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about with Hasbro, you know, I can always big up the Ghostbusters team, Marvel Legends team, not so much. Not so much. So also at New York Comic Con, we had the reveal of the X-Men 97 Sentinel. Gonna refill on this. You know, I gotta admit, I'm actually enjoying it. For those of you who are late to the stream, in celebration of the inaugural new podcast studio, and me finally living next to a Trader Joe's that sells alcohol, I picked up the Trader Joe's alcohol for $15. So far, it's not too bad. It is not too bad. It's also getting watered down a lot by my ice. And there's cherries in my glass. So there's that too. There's that too. Okay, so you guys know, because you watch every week, appreciate it. I do not have a new P.O. box yet, but I will keep you guys updated on that. No Tully, no money. I like that. You guys know for the last 2 months, I have talked about this thing. For the last 2 months, since they had, when they were talking about Dragon Man was announced. I was like, okay, I like this idea, also tied to Ant-Man. I like this idea of a cheaper priced HasLab. Something 200 and under. Love the idea. With Dragon Man, I was like, okay, I love the idea that you don't have to hit a goal. It's something niche. If you want it, you buy it, you're good to go. But what I was asking for the longest time was we need Sentinels, not those stupid 2-pack video game ones that came out. We need giant Sentinels to go with an X-Men display. And for nothing else, giant Sentinels to go with the HasLab Sentinel, because the HasLab Sentinel, if you had that, has the Master Mold head as an option. So you can have a Master Mold, and then you have these figures as well. They finally announced it. It was finally coming out, but at $175 for the Sentinel. Now, Hasbro was not at Comic-Con, for the record as well, in case you guys don't realize that. They went to the event for the Hasbro breakfast, and then they dipped. Marvel Legends team was not there. They were actually setting up in London this weekend for 10/27, I think, is a Hasbro thing. But then there's also London Comic-Con. So there's 2 things happening this weekend. So they were probably just all focused there. But they were not at New York Comic Con. However, they did leave a setup at one of the booths where they did have this on display. Now, the Sentinel, the reason I said this thing needed to come out was, like I said, for a display. But it also needed to just be cheap. It needed to be something that you can buy multiple of, have a dope setup, doesn't need crazy articulation, doesn't need lights, doesn't need sounds. It just has to be cheap enough that you can buy it, army build it, and have a cool X-Men setup. That's all you need. 175, that's not it. That's not it. I'm not even trying to be cheap here. That's not it. I've seen this thing in person. I've seen it in person. You don't need side articulation. You don't need pinless. You don't need all the extra accessories here. You just need the Sentinel. Just need the Sentinel to have on display with the X-Men. And at 175, maybe you buy two. If you're buying more than two at 175, either you're big ballin' or you're getting paid on you. I don't know. I don't see it. 175 for a giant figure makes sense for Ant-Man. You only need one. Dragon Man, you only need one. This thing, you need multiple. You need multiple. They missed the mark. To me, this one, they missed the mark. And I heard the arguments, oh, well, everything's up in price now, so 175 is not bad. Sure, for a figure, but who wants just one Sentinel? Who wants just one Stormtrooper, right? Who wants 4 Ninja Turtles and 1 Foot Soldier? That's not a thing. It's meant to army build. At 175, you're not promoting army building. You could have dumbed this thing down. You could have, taken away articulation, made it, more hollow. I didn't get to hold it, make it more hollow. It doesn't need to hold any crazy poses, Like holding this pose, a double jointed knee, it didn't need that. It didn't need that. This is what you needed to be able to have multiple. The freaking shot with them lined up along a wall and Jubilee walking by on the way to the mall. That's what you needed. You didn't need this. You didn't need this. Great scale, great colors. That's what you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $175 times 6. $1,000. It's going to cost you $1,000 if you want that. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. No way. No way. Cheaper, put it in stores, call it a day. And then, hell, we all could have banded together and said, don't buy it at Target and then wait till they end up in Ollie's and then you buy the shit out of these things. Like, you could have done that. 175. It's stupid. And there's the other argument. Well, just because you're broke or just because of this or no. If we as a community start spending this kind of money on a Sentinel, $200 for 2 Ghostbusters figures, all you're doing is telling them, yeah, that is worth the value. Give me more of that. That's all we're doing. So this is one where, in a way, I hope that they fail with this, but then at the same time, they're going to just think we don't want this. And that's not the case. We want this, but we want it affordable because we want to be able to do this. You shouldn't have to spend $1,000 to have a Sentinel army that's not going to hold any cool poses. They literally just stand there. Literally just stand there. Take away the ultimate faceplates, sell an accessory pack. Pull a NECA. This easily could have been $50 to $75. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way. No way. May interest you in a 3.75 shampoo dispenser Marvel Titan Hero version. Yeah, I'd rather have that. For that price, they should have given you 2. Yeah. Don't get any chicken from Trader Joe's. They recently had recalls. Oh, so. I ordered 4. Kidding. I ordered 0. There you go. But you telling me you didn't want them? Everybody in the comment section here wanted these things. The Gospel of Steve. Yeah. I'm getting 1 and 2 of the Marvel Titan ones immersion. Yeah. Me over here enabling them. Yeah. You know, if this thing was not the pre-order, you know, thing where they're like, oh, you have to order it by this date, I would have definitely long gamed it for the outlet. I don't think it was going to go there, but I would have definitely done that. And look, 175 estimated ship date this time next year. Ida, you know what? I'm sorry. No. Not happening. No thanks. So that's my spiel. That's where I'm at. Shout out to the Ghostbusters. Shout out to the G.I. Joe team. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of crossover between the two. Shout out to all of you who are getting a chance to get Dr. Mindbender. He was a con exclusive at one point. G.I. Joe has some really good figures going out. Shout out to Road Pig and all the shit he's taking from people. But hey, if you like it, buy it. At the end of the day, if you like it, buy it. But, you know, as prices continue to increase, at a certain point we have to say, is it our fault or not? And, you know, with the Sentinel, it's like they heard us, but they had the wrong idea. Or the right idea, terrible execution. One of the two. But you don't pay till next year. Nah, you pay. You pay now. That's what they do. The good thing is that you don't get charged until it ships. Well, is that the case on these as well? These style of pre-orders where they have the cutoff date? Because I know they do that with the normal pre-orders, but is it the same thing? Like, did Dragon Man people get charged yet or no? Because that's the other thing too. You know, again, you start doing a couple of these pre-order things, and then all of a sudden, one day you look at your card and you've got $2,000 worth of charges on there, and you're like, what the hell happened? It's all your pre-orders hitting at one time. You forgot all about them, you know? It's another one to think about. But like that 175, I'd rather buy a hot toy. I'd rather buy a hot toy for 175. You can get more out of that hot toy than the that Sentinel. Like I said, I saw it in person. It's cool. Doesn't need to do all that. Make it affordable so I can buy more than one and not feel like an asshole. But there you go. That's a show. That's a wrap. In this echo-filled chamber of mine. There he is, Man Collects in the house. I was just saying earlier, you're probably recording your outro for tomorrow's video. So there you go. I pre-ordered the 6-inch retro card backs. They're super dope. Me like, yeah, they are good. Now, Ryan Ting said you get charged upon shipping like normal pre-orders. All right, cool. Cool. Let's go Yankees. There you go. But yeah, that's a show. That's a wrap. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. Welcome back. I appreciate that. I definitely have to load up some episodes on the podcast apps. I'm slacking on that. But I'll do the pictures, and Anthony will do the pictures, and I'll start editing the video. Hopefully next week I can start editing the video. I'm not going to do a crazy video on this one. Not at all. As you can see, I'm still unpacking and setting up, and I definitely want to do a video on the Proton Pack, how that did at Comic-Con. So yeah, a lot happening, but it's very exciting. And I'm glad that all of you were here. Excuse me. With me on the stream today. Good luck, Yankee fans. JB, with the cheers. And there we go. I debated doing that. I really did, but time. It's just time. Don't have it. But yeah, we're back. HeyArcher Live next week's Halloween. I'll try to go live at 8:15 next week. I actually have Halloween plans. I've not said that sentence in a long time. So I'll try. Either it'll be late or it'll be different day. But we'll normally 8:15-ish p.m. every Thursday here on Nerd Affiliated. Now that we're setting up, once we get in the groove and the layout's done and the house is good, I'll start figuring out that second stream day to replace Nerdy Coffee. Subscribe to each other, follow each other, and be good to one another. Like, comment, subscribe, talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
Specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Yeah, come on, push a button. Push a goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.